Hello everyone and welcome to another Innistrad Midnight Hunt draft. This time it is traditional draft, so best of 3. And I have a pretty decent rare here. Sarith, the Viper's Fang, is a 4-mana 3/4. It is a double caster though, which is a drawback when your card costs 2 of some certain color, but it's still not going to prevent me from picking this. So other tapped creatures you control have death. That's pretty sweet, because that means all your attackers will at least trade with the blockers unless the opponent has first or double strikers as blocking creatures, and other untapped creatures you control have hexproof. And I can even untap another target creature or even a land. The untapping a land isn't that relevant because the ability costs mana, but I guess you can, if you have like only one mountain and you need 2 red mana, you can tap the one mountain and then use some other mana to untap the mountain and tap for another red. Anyway, point is that as long as you have this thing up, opponent can't really use and 1 mana. They can't really use removal on your other creatures because you can just give them hexproof by untapping them. Pretty great stuff. Now I'm not taking a green card here. Candlelit Cavalry is it's a playable 5-drop, but it's not really something you want to pick at pick number 2 in the draft, like a 5-mana 5/5. That is not a bum rare. All right, so Dawnhard Wardens is because I'm going to take a card that requires other than green to cast. There's a rare which is like a not amazing at all. It's playable but nothing great. Dawnhard Wardens though, that's really good, and it is double color, but it's green, and my first pick was green, so basically it's just a white card. I'll take that. It's easily the best card in the pack, in my opinion. So green-white could be the thing here. The non-green, non-white cards, I think I like the Hobbling Zombie quite a bit. It's really decent. 3-mana 2/2 Death Toucher, that gives you the Decayed Zombie as a death trigger, is definitely a good card. But I kind of want to see if I can get the green-white deck with maybe some kind of a common focus going on. Rare has been taken and 1 uncommon has been taken, so I guess the Gavin Silversmith is the card I'd rather take here over the green cards. This is also pretty sweet in the sense that it can set up common nicely with the counters it can distribute. Spellrune Painter, maybe not even that great in red-green. So yeah, let's take the Silversmith. It's not necessarily a card I'm happy to pick as pick number 3, but it is what it is. And this pack has actually multiple decent picks here. Hound Tamer will be my pick. This is one of the best, at least non-rare werewolves, if not the best. Such a great card. It's a single caster 3/3 for 3 that has also trample. When it's night, it's a 4/4 and still has trample, and of course there's the counter adding ability. And during night it gives trample to your other wolves and werewolves. But anyway, the Rem Carolus is also pretty great. I'm definitely not taking it here, but it's also a very good card, and I'm slightly surprised it's still here available as a pack 1 pick 4 option. Anyway, maybe some people just force blue-black or something, I don't know, but that is a card I would have been interested in picking if there wasn't such an obvious choice for me in that pack. Alright, so Willowgeist, 1-mana 1/1 with trample. This has to be some catch, and there is. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, this gets a counter, and when it dies I get some life. Okay, so it's not actually great in a green-white, because there are not that... Well, there are some flashback spells in green, but that's pretty much it. There's no... Okay, there are of course disturb creatures. I kind of forgot it, but it's still only... It actually requires quite a bit of work. I think I like the Gavin Trapper more. It's also one good way to get Coven to have the 0 power creature in your at least in your deck, so you can, when you draw it, it's easy to get the Coven because you won't have a lot of 0 power creatures. It's almost always the only creature with 0 power, so you only need 2 other creatures that have different power after that. Now, Might of the Old Ways over the Blessed Defiance pretty easy. And the Obsessive Astronomer is like, you know, completely reasonable card, but there's no reason to deviate from the green white, which seems to be open enough. And I have the card quality in here is interesting enough for me that I'm going to probably go through with this color combination in this draft. Okay, Harvest Tide Sentry, 2-drop, decent quality 2-drop, easy pick here. And what else? Another Cabinet Trapper. There is a Bounding Wolf, which is more like, I have one werewolf now, the Hound Tamer. The flash is relevant when you have werewolves, so you can make it night easier, just not doing anything on your turn and then still doing something with your mana on the opponent's turn. That's the idea there. But am I taking another Cabinet Trapper? 5/5. I'm not taking the 5-drop. There are multiple options for 5-drops. I'm just not sure if I care about the Bounding Wolf. I take another Trapper here actually. Seems like it might be. The Bounding Wolf is such a replaceable card. I'd rather have option to have 2 of these tappers. Alright, Plummet is my choice. I don't like the Ritual Guardian that much. It's definitely one of the, like I said, just like the Bounding Wolf, a 3-drop that can, I mean, you can usually find 3-drops during a draft, and I already have a couple of them, so I don't need too many more of them. So, not interested in that, and this is great sideboard card in best of 3, which this draft is. And yet another Celestus Sanctifier. Now there is a mana fixing card if I have some splash, but I don't really think it's that interesting. Is this format having a lot of artifacts or enchantments? I guess there are some. I just don't like the Sanctifier either, so I'll take this thing for my sideboard. Alright, now I wasn't really surprised to get the Bounding Wolf I saw earlier, so I'll take it now. And here, Candlelit Cavalry. I mean, I'm gonna play easily one of these. Snarling Wolf I just don't like. I'll take another one of these. Probably not. Well, I mean, if these are my only two, the only 5-drops, I could play them both. But there's a good chance I will find more. Alright, so this pack has a green-white rare golden card. Sadly, it's not a particularly good one. It seems like it's more like a constructed card because it works nicely with token generating stuff. Enchantment or creature, I mean, you get like 1 extra card. It's not worth it 2 mana. It's very tough to get 2 cards from it, especially when you use the flashback cost. So no, that's not the card I'm taking here. I am taking just another Gavin and Silversmith. Now if I'm ending up with these in my deck, the Coven is relevant for the 5/5s. Getting them to trample over jump blockers is going to be great. So I'll take it. There are some nice red uncommons there, but I'm not really interested in splashing here. Okay, sadly, this pack is a huge disappointment. There's nothing I want to have, because Unruly Mob, while is like an acceptable card, it's just better in decks that can sacrifice. I mean, in decks that have at least zombies, so usually you pair this with blue or black. I mean the decayed zombies, I mean, or then just have some sacrifice outlets, which works in white-black quite easily. But yeah, not really a card I'm willing to pick here this early. I don't really care about the 3rd Candlelit Cavalry. This is such a weak pack. This doesn't even have anything that's interesting sideboard-wise here. I'll take the rare here for 20 gems. Okay, let's hope for something better. Well, the pack at least has an Evolving Wilds. There's also a Search Party Captain, and this Thraben Exorcism is very risky thing to put into your deck in best of 1, because you can face decks that don't have these things. But in best of 3, a fantastic sideboard card. But I'm assuming to get it back at pick number 11. I don't need a 5-drop here. I think Evolving Wilds is now the easy pick here, improving my land mana base here a little bit here. So let's take it now. Something like Search Party Captain is a card I could play in this deck, but I don't feel like it's really that necessary. I'll take a Candle Trap. At least it seems like I have a somewhat easy time to get the Coven happen. So this is of course a lot better card when you somewhat reliably can make the Coven happen. So let's have the removal spell there. Gather Commando. I have 1 Plummet. Now I wouldn't mind having more than 1 of these in my sideboard, but if I saw earlier in this pack a Plummet, I might be able to get that one. Even this could come back, because it could come back as pick number 13. Anyway, I'll take the 2-drop. I still need those. It's also a flash 2-drop, so it can combine with the, I guess, the one werewolf I currently have here. Yeah, only one werewolf. Sunset Revelry, Morning Patrol, Evolving Wilds, Candle Trap. Okay, I have 15 cards. Well, okay, actually 14 spells. I'm thinking about Evolving Wilds, but this thing... Not sure. Should I try this? Okay, I'm actually wanting to try this because this is the kind of card that I don't really know how often it's good. It's also something I can sideboard away in matchups that seem like that it's not really going to do a whole lot. I have one Evolving Wild, so that's the main reason I passed the second one, because if I didn't have any, I probably would have taken the Evolving Wilds in that case. Right, so Hall of the Hunt, how many creatures? Okay, 12. I guess I could play some non-creatures. Although the Morning Patrol is somewhat okay, but maybe I'll take the Hall of the Hunt now. Yep, let's take it. Search Party Captain, the only card from my colors. The Blessing isn't exactly a card I'm willing to splash, so let's take the white one here. Hedge Witch's Mask. I wish it kind of gave like a +1/+2 at least. Maybe it should be uncommon at that point, but anyway, I just don't like this stat boost and equip cost of 2 mana. Maybe I'll take the Celestus Sanctifier. I just don't care about having cards in my graveyard. I'll take it anyway if I want to play a random 3/2 there. Alright, well, Snarling Wolf, I'm still not interested in that. I can play a third of these, maybe more like as a sideboard into a third one in certain matchups. Here, definitely the Exorcism is for my sideboard. This is probably better than the Celestus Sanctifier, but still I think this in my sideboard is more valuable in general. I don't think I got the plummet I saw earlier, but there's the pick 13 plummet, which is like a very low chance to happen, but I mean, not that low, but it's I don't necessarily expect it to happen. Anyway, Bramble Armor, I could try it. Let's see if I'm gonna play it or not. Okay, I got the pick 13 plummet here. Well, that's exactly perfect, because now I have a lot of decent cards to sideboard against annoying flyers. Alright, so this is going to be... Well, I'm not taking another Sunset Revelry. I will try it with the one in my deck. There's a Harvesttide Sentry if I want to have a 2-drop, because I think I do. Trapper Commander. Yeah, I think I'll take... I mean, the Death Bonnet Sprout, though. Okay, that does grow nicely. Okay, fine. Maybe I should take this. That this can become so big. Okay, I'll take it. But I do want to have more 2-drops too. But this is a 1-drop, so it's kind of the same thing. In a sense that you can have at least some kind of an early board presence, although this will early be only a 1/1. Right, so here there is a 2-drop here. There's also a Morning Patrol. Which maybe I can get back at pick number 10. I still want to have the 2-drop. This also is good in setting up the Coven. It can be a 2/2, of course, but then again it can be a 1/1 that adjusts some other creature's power, so it's easier to get the Coven, which this deck might be somewhat interested in. Let's just take it now. And okay, there's a Mythic Rare. Now, I actually haven't seen these in drafts in a long time. Actually, when was the previous Mythic Rare? That wasn't like a card I didn't want to pick for my deck, because of course if I have like a green and white Mythic Rare, it's probably good for my deck. But anyway, point is I'm still collecting the set, so I'm taking all the Mythic Rares I see. I have only somehow 0 of these guys, so I will pick those Mythic Rares in drafts to make it faster to complete the set. So, and this pack isn't even that exciting, so I don't lose much by picking the Mythic Rare here. Chaplain of Alms. Candlecrow Witch, okay, and then I have a pack with multiple options. Well, I guess that the third Trapper wouldn't be that great, and maybe second Howl of the Hunt, not that amazing either. But the Silver Bolt is, especially because of this is best of 3 event. Even if you don't main deck it, it's a fantastic sideboard card. But I think the option is still, the pick here is still the Candlecrow Witch, maybe even over this thing. It's a 4-mana 2/1. Yeah, I like the fact that this can maybe even quite reliably fly in this deck. I have, by the way, 23 playables here, so that's pretty nice too. Okay, so I have a Search Party Captain number 2, Aurel Lunar's Veteran. I don't think the captains are That's interesting. I'll take this. It might be a card I sideboard away in some matchups, but the life gain can matter often enough, I think. Not sure if I'm going to main deck it though. Alright, here I could take another Exorcism for my sideboard or another Gavin Silversmith, but I have some 4-drops. Do I want to have a third? Oh, I guess I have a, yeah, but I'm gonna cut 2 cards already, so I'll just take the, I don't need the 5-drop because I have 3 of them. So I'll take the another Exorcism for sideboard use. Howl of the Hunt, sure. Maybe I wanna play them in many copies. Okay, now there is a 4-drop. That's pretty decent, so let's take the Outrider here. I might even take it, play it over the Search Party Captain. Alright, a pack that doesn't have anything for me, so I'll take the... Well, I guess this has the exile a card from graveyard, but I don't think it's worth playing at 4 mana 3/4, so I'll take the 20 gems here. Bounding Wolf number 2, Return to Nature number 2. Well, I guess the Bounding Wolf is better than the Sanctifier. I still don't like the mask here, not even as a sideboard option. So let's take that. Okay, I got the third one. Sorry, my voice is going away. Alright, so a third one of these. Well, I'm never playing the Path to the Festival, I don't think. So let's have a third one of these in the sideboard. I will pause the video for a bit because I will switch the camera to the other side so that it's easier for, so that it won't block the stuff that's visible in deck building. But the last pick was this, and then I'll make a small cut. Well, not a cut, but I'm pausing the video, pausing the recording. Okay, so my sideboard, I'm not playing these things in my main deck. I mean, I have two of these already, so it's very easy to just go to deck building mode. I'll figure out the lands later. How many green, how many white? Okay, pretty even amount of them both, but I have one evolving wild, so it's most likely 8/8 plus the evolving wilds. I think I might even play 3 of these guys. How many creatures? 21. Well, I'm going to cut a bunch of them, and the first is the Celestial Sanctifier, and 3 more cuts are needed to be made. I kind of want to test the Bramble Armor. I don't think it's good at all. I mean, maybe at all is wrong, but it's not that good because while you get the free +2/+1 for 2 mana because it auto snaps to something, the equip cost of 4 is really, really expensive. But I will try it. It will also play some part in making the Coven happen. Although my cards don't care about Coven too much, that is true. Although I do have the Tramplers if I play all of them, and of course the Dawnheart Wardens is really important for Coven. And then there is the Flyer 2-drop, and I guess there's also the Harvestide Sentry. So yeah, in fact, and the Candle Trap. Okay, I have a bunch of creatures that care about Coven. And Bramble Armor can, if I have like multiple 2-power creatures, this makes one of them, of course, have something else than 2 power. Okay, so the Search Party Captain is, because sometimes it is a 4-drop, sometimes it is a 3-drop, sometimes it is a 2-drop, but that's not really guaranteed at all. So I think with these the 4-drops I have, I will cut the Search Party Captain here. And out of these 3-drops, maybe the Lunarch Veteran now in this specific deck might be something I want to have as a sideboard option. I like the other cards more here. I still need to cut 2. That's 19 creatures. I'm gonna cut some creatures. Okay, the Veteran goes now. I will sideboard it in if the life gain is seems to be very relevant in a matchup. Yeah, and the 2-drop creatures won't go anywhere. I think I'll play the double Cabinet Trapper also because Coven. Yeah, I mean the 0 power is relevant for that. And I guess I could cut one of the Bounding Wolves. I do kind of like the Howl of the Hunts because, well, first of all, it's a pretty nice trick, even without any synergies. 3 mana, +2/+2 as an instant speed effect, which sticks, is definitely worth playing. It's bad against decks that have a lot of removal or instant, especially instant speed interaction. So I can sideboard them out, but I feel like I maybe want to start with 2 of them in the deck. And I also like the Might of the Old Ways. It's going to draw me a card quite often, and I want to test the Sunset Revelry and the Bramble Armor here. So probably the Bounding Wolf. The only thing I'm kind of I fear here is that it's a I mean, I don't have that many. Well, actually, I do have still. Okay, currently 4 3 mana plays. If I cut one, I would have 3 plus the Howl of the Hunts, which can often be a reasonable continuation for your 2-drop. The other option is just to cut one of the Candlelit Cavalries. But I think I might want to have the kind of big creature finishing potential here. And so it is one of the either the wolf or candlelit cavalry. Let's see the creature curve like this still. So yeah, I like it. I actually would prefer to have a little bit more 2-drops, but the Sunset Revelry can be a 2-drop, because if opponent played a creature and you don't have any, this will get you 2/1/1s. So it is works as a 2-drop in some way. All right. Well, the Bounding Wolf is, if I had more werewolves, maybe that would be a reason to play, but I have only the one, so I'll cut one of these things. This thing will untap wolves and werewolves, but I don't think that's not the important part. The fact that it gives a vigilance, that gives to any creature that's enchanted by this, that is relevant, more relevant than the untapping potential. Alright, so this is the build, 10 white, 14 green, and there's one double cast the green. But I still want to be having access to my white spells fairly quickly, so I think Evolving Wilds and 8+8 is still the correct way to do it. Okay, so what is the art for the lands now? Let's use this one, and this one from Amonkhet. And now I'll just move the camera. And this should be, yeah, this is the deck. At least the main deck. I have a bunch of decent sideboard options though. But yeah, let's go. And I can now, with the new recording software, I can actually just pause the recording so I don't have to make multiple, different videos and then kind of glue them together. So I will be able to skip the searching for an opponent part, so you don't have to waste time. But you are not wasting. I'm wasting your time talking about it now. Sorry about that. Okay. Disappointing. If one of these was a plains, I would snap keep, because I could play 1-drop, 2-drop, and then if I draw any land, Hound Tamer here. I have a 4-drop and 5-drop, which are not likely to be happening, but the Hound Tamer is incredibly strong, so I guess I'll keep it. I at least have the Sprout here. It will be a 1/1 for a couple of turns though. Don't mill lands, please mill creatures. And they have first striker to respond. Okay, that was actually a good card to get milled there. Well, planes would have been better, but I'm happy to have the 3-drop here at least. But yeah, this is something I can't do anything about. Then I mill a forest. Well, okay, no, this is fine. This is just fine. So, yep. I can attack because I'm not blocking with that thing. A little bit of a bluff with the stops here. They take the one now. That was 3 damage. Let's play this. This has a nice 4-mana activation here. Adding counters on target creature, not just itself. Celestus Sanctifier, alright. And I built a creature I don't even care about that much, and I drew a 4th land, and it's a white source, so I can go for the Cavani Silversmith here if I want to. They have 4 power there though, so I don't want to lose my Hound Tamer here. I don't think. Both of these are quite good though, because usually when you add counters to creatures, if you don't get any immediate value, like having a good attack, you want to add counters to creatures that are the least, impactful. Because if your opponent has removal, you want them to remove that. If they remove your best creatures, at least the next best creatures have the extra counters on them. So, but both of these are going to be very good. I'm gonna give one counter to the Silversmith, but the other one I don't actually know. It's really, really. I mean, this is gonna flip when the next creature card is in my graveyard. So, and it will keep on growing. So I guess the Hound Tamer, although with the ability it has. It's tough, actually. It's very tough. I mean, I have to just decide. Both are very good. I guess I'll take the Hound Tamer because I'm not gonna have the mana for the 4-mana activation anytime soon. Now I could. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna offer the. They might not even block with both of these guys, but they might, and I don't actually want that to happen. I guess. I mean, this would go to my graveyard. This would become a 4/4 in that case. But they could play this as a 4-mana 2-power first striker. Okay, now they have a bunch of first striker. I'm happy I have the candlelit cavalries here at least. Now they have a tapper up here. Okay, a land got milled, so. Okay, I can play this thing. Now if I attack with the Silversmith, let's just play the land first, maybe. Okay, let's see what happens when I try to go to combat, which they are gonna tap. Or are they gonna tap anyone? The 4/4. So now, of course, the Silversmith is not really that valuable. So I'm going to offer it. I'm gonna, attack with it. And actually, with the Hound Tamer activation, they actually don't have a good block here. They just jump here. Okay, they want to have a 2-power flying first striker. That's fine. I'm gonna have the candlelit cavalry. Because I can make this into the 4/5, so if they block with all of them, yeah, I still lose it, but then they lose all of those guys. They just chose to jump block, which is, I mean, seems maybe a bit premature, but I don't know. Anyway, point is that I have my big creature here, which will be trampling. Are they mono white or just am I missing a color here? If they play this thing, they don't have tapping mana available. And this will become bigger if it's night. It's actually gonna be a 5/5 in that case. They do play that, so it won't be night, but now they won't have a tapper available. That was a creature, so I get this. This is now a 3/3, and it will also start growing because it will eat cards from my graveyard and get counters. Now this says you may exile a card from a graveyard. This is even better. Okay, even better. Alright, so what to do? I can add a counter and play the 2-drop here. But of course I can add it as an instant speed effect. So what I'm gonna do, this gets trampled, that's great. And then they have 3-power first strikers. I'm not gonna attack with this because this is going to keep on growing. So I'm going to attack with these and these for sure. How about the Hound Tamer? If they put 5 power in front of it, I will lose it. But that means I will still have. I actually maybe should have played the Candlecrow Witch. Well, maybe not. I mean, I could have given it a counter. Because I could make them block. I mean, if I can make this into 5/5, so they can put. Yeah, actually, it's fine. If they're gonna lose 2 creatures to it, yeah, this is the attack. But I will leave the Death Bonnet Hulk as a blocker now. Or not, well, I guess it's also a blocker, but as a, you know, to make it not die yet, it becomes a 4/4 in the next turn. I think this might be too much for the opponent to handle. My big creatures are just doing all the work. They haven't played that. Okay, they actually take damage, so I could deal an additional point here, which I feel like I'll want to do. Because they are not going to... Well, here's hoping they don't have an actually the white rat, because they could. It would cost, what, 2 mana currently. It's 8 minus number of creatures on the battlefield. Okay, so they just... Okay, I'm gonna exile from my graveyard because I wanna have a counter on it. And there's this thing. Am I supposed to show them? Well, I guess them knowing about this isn't really that big of a deal. Although that means I don't have this, but giving all of my guys... But then again, I can't attack with this into the first striker when I can't give it a counter to it. I guess I just don't have the wardens. The extra power won't be that relevant. I mean, for all of my guys. I don't know about the instant speed tricks here. So just attack with all now. This is I mean, they are not gonna have easy blocks here. And I have still the counter adding ability. I'm assuming they put the sealed geist on the candle crow witch, or can they do that? I have a 10 power of trample coming up. They didn't use a trapper here, so maybe they either have something that costs more than 3 mana, or maybe they just, you know, wanted to see if I give them any additional information. And they decided to already kind of lose the game, which usually makes sense. I could have played something that might affect their sideboarding, or at least, you know, a Ritual of Hope. They have common. So that's +2/+2. They still could have tapped some of my creatures. Do they want? Maybe they want to block with the 2/3 here. But they still have to. They have to at least block both 5/5s because I can make them into. Or maybe they have to destroy a creature with toughness 4 or greater. That would be awkward. Well, that's gonna trample over 2. Yeah, the 10 power of trample is nasty here. Definitely. Yeah, they don't have anything good here. They basically have to jump block way too many creatures there. Alright, so plummet. No, it's not really that great value to kill these things with a plummet. If they have the 5 mana 3/4, yeah, maybe then, but I don't think it's important enough now. Return to nature could be... I guess this is mostly useful against the enchantment-based removal, but even a candle trap can, you know, you can use the exile ability. So it won't stay around forever. I'm not, of course, sideboarding this because I didn't see anything. But the Thraben Exorcism, Spirit creature with Disturb. Well, I saw just creature with Disturb. I saw 2 of them. I guess that's enough to try. I will play one of them and then I will lose, I guess. What? Bramble Armor. I guess against the Tapper, the Bramble Armor is not that exciting. And this is pretty much it. The 5/5s seem to be pretty good in this matchup. Don't think I want to make any other changes. Let's just roll with this. Well, I can also pause during sideboarding, so I'll do that. As long as I remember to resume the recording. Okay, now I have both colors here. And yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I can play the Sprout on turn 1. Yeah, well, that's more stuff that I can... More stuff that I can deal with. Well, what's the Thraben Exorcism? Okay, I'm actually going to sideboard at least second one, assuming I lose this one. Alright, so... Oh, I can just play the Trapper and this. I might... Now there's a kind of a question. Do I need a Trapper here? Because I could get, be done with the Evolving Wild. So I might, not be able to have a 4-drop if I don't draw more untapped lands. That means I will draw spells, and that's great too. And they all hopefully won't be 4 and 5 mana spells. Because I can now go Trapper, Wardens, and so on. Okay, I'm gonna. It's high enough chance that I will be able to curve out in a reasonable way here. But now I already see 4 because neither of these were in the previous game present. And they, by the way, they seem to be a mono white deck. Creature maybe, yes. Howl of the Hunt. So what was I going to say? Yeah, I didn't see these in game 1. I saw 2 creatures with Disturb, and definitely this is already 4 total. Anyway, let's just do the stuff I wanted to do. I do have the Coven trigger. It's just not that great in this situation. I don't actually want to trade with the Lunar Veteran here, and they have an OFO blocker, so let's not attack. Not when I don't have the Howl of the Hunt up. And especially when they have mana open. Okay, that is an annoying card. Well, I have it myself too. Okay, that's another creature, so it will... This thing will happen very soon. Okay, so the Outrider is something I want to deal with. Now they have only 3 power up. I kind of want to use the Howl of the Hunt here, but it's also possible that they are just... No, they will block with... No, this will be a 4 power creature. Is there a chance they will double block it? Because there is a chance they will double block it, and that would be fantastic. I would get rid of the Outrix Outrider. But then I lose damage if they are not going to block it. No, in that case I'll just play the Outrix Outrider of my own. Yeah, that's a good plan. Because I could pre-combat this thing, but I think that's what I want to do here. I'm gonna attack with this. See what they do. They might jump block with the Beloved Beggar and get a counter out of the deal, which is something that can't really help much. Okay, they jump block with that thing instead. And get a counter, of course. Or do they double block? No. I have my Trapper. I can, if they're gonna build some kind of a big thing that's gonna be blocking a lot, at least I can start tapping that. And now, yeah, I need 1 more creature for this thing to flip. In the meanwhile, if they don't cast the thing they have in there, I can actually exile. No, this doesn't exile. Sorry, it's the backside that will exile, and I guess it's only 2 mana card. They will play it anyway. Sun Gold Sentinel. Oh, they will exile a creature from my graveyard. So this makes Death Bonnet Sprout a bit slower now. Oh well. I'm definitely in the game. The Odrix Outrider is, causing some trouble here, but I have my own here too. There's the Phantom. So now when the creatures they have leave the battlefield, they gain life. Okay, there's the Sunset Revelry. It wouldn't have done anything currently. It would have been a bad one. Bad draw. Hound Tamer. Now that is a good one. So do I have any kind of a good attack here? Because I still have the option for the Howl of the Hunt here. So the Sun Gold Sentinel definitely is annoying. If I attack with the Wardens, what's the worst thing that can happen? They can double block it, and then I would be I would be losing it anyway. That's kind of bad. Yeah, I think it's time to just play the Silversmith here. fine. There's not really that much of a rush here. Let's play the Silversmith, and who gets the counters? Well, Silversmith gets a counter. I think the other one should maybe be Dawnheart Wardens, maybe. Okay, let's do that. Get the land. I guess that's gonna be... I'm gonna just use this right away. There's no double casters here, are there? I guess there were more green cards, so let's get a forest. Now there's no good attack. I want to definitely have my Hall of the Hunt up when I'm starting to make some attacks. They have the Phantom that they can start to, you know, attack with. They also do have a Coven. So they... Okay, there is something for a Plummet. This is also a Spirit, so the Thraben thing... I might actually... Assuming I lose this. By the way, they just have good hate spells for the Death Bonnet Sprout. I think I will sideboard it out. Anyway, point is, the Thraben Exorcism will exile this thing too, because it is a spirit. So that's what, 5 targets in the deck. Okay, there is a creature, but sadly they have exiled 2 of my creatures, so it's not really going to happen yet. How about the Hall of the Hunt stuff now? I do have Coven, so I have the Gavin and Silversmith. I can, you know, trade with some nonsense here. I don't even have to use the Hall of the Hunt on that. If they block with both the Outrider and the Sun Gold Sentinel, I can kill them both. I guess if the Outrider dies, that's always going to be good. They can block with the Soul Guide Grief though. And the Outrider. But then I can just trade with the Outrider. That's fine. I will attack with these 2 guys. I won't use the Tapper offensively. I will leave it for other purposes. They might just, you know, they are gonna get a 4/4 flyer. So they easily just can jump block there. And they will get another counter, and that will give them a counter. At least this will be exiled for good now. And it doesn't trigger the Outrider because it leaves the battlefield instead of going to graveyard, so it doesn't trigger this. And this also gives you 1 counter per combat, right? No, it gives as many as die. But this will, yeah, like I said, it won't give the counter because it goes to exile, so it won't trigger Outrider. They get 1 counter, and of course the life. Okay, they are gonna build up a big flyer, which I can start, you know, tapping. Pretty important that I won't die to those flyers. This is a good one to have here. They will play a 4/4 flyer too, but it's not big enough to block my stuff, especially with the Hall of the Hunt. They have run out of their jump blockers, I think. I mean, all the kind of jump blockers that are not a big deal to block with. The rest of these cards are really decent, so they might not want to jump block, although they have a lot of life. So they don't really need to jump block that quickly now. Celestus Sanctifier, alright. Is that gonna be a creature? Nope. Oh, it was a decent trick, actually. Now, with 7 mana, I have both the Hound Tamer and the Hall of the Hunt activation up. So let's see. Let's trigger the Coven first. They have 2 mana up. Maybe they have a spell of some kind. They have this, do they? No, 3, 3, 3, and 4. They don't have Coven, although this only matters when they're gonna attack. The Hexproof is irrelevant. I'm not gonna target it with anything. So here it is going to be... still fine trading with the Outrider here. If they double block with the Sentinel and the Sanctifier, I can save it. No, I can't save it with the Hall of the Hunt, but they will lose them both, which is definitely a decent enough outcome to me. Oh, I also do have the +1. Actually, I could save it, because I can give it 3 extra toughness with the 7 mana and Hall of the Hunt and this activated ability. I guess the Hound Tamer is not attacking now. Although they would have to have a pretty specific block to make it bad. I guess I'm going to push some damage here now. Yeah, the Outrider won't attack. Also, if my creatures die, the Death Bonnet Sprout actually is going to... it is actually going to flip, which is also something that is nice. Although if this attacks, it can exile a card from a graveyard, so I guess they are not going to attack with it though, because I have good blockers. And if I want to, I could maybe try to tap it. Yeah. So they choose to do that exact thing. So I could save it. I could save it if I wanted to. But it's of course risky. What is the 2-mana card that can do something nasty here? I don't think... They might have the human gets +3/+3 and indestructible. Because I could let this happen. Both, this would be just a, you know, I don't need the whole of the hunt here. I think it's just not worth it. Let's kill those both, and I lose my wardens. Get a counter from the Odrix. Although they will get 2 counters. That is, well, fine. I guess it's still fine. Oh, they might have something. So that's of course a reason to not go for any. Oh, they have the Flare of Faith here. Yeah, that's not nice. But I guess it was basically the same as them having a removal spell on the wardens. This means I will use 2 mana to tap, mana to have a counter, so I guess I'll just, add a counter here right away on the Gavin and Silversmith. I don't think I'm gonna need to use the whole of the hunt. It's becoming night now, is it? Anyway, someone's gonna get a counter. I have a 1 timeout, but I still don't wanna waste time here. Silversmith, Sprout, maybe the Sprout. Let's have this, give the Sprout a counter. And it's becoming a night. They get to, of course, trigger the Sanctifier, but not much I can do about it. Now, if they don't have a land, I will get to... No, I won't get to exile anything. Actually, because this has to flip before it starts exiling. Because I can still exile this 4/4 flyer they have coming up. Okay, so that has Coven. No, it doesn't. 3/3/3/3 and 4. Okay, now they have Coven. Alright, fine. So someone is going to get double strike. But it's, I mean, I will tap that thing if I want to. Sun Gold Sentinel with double strike. They get to eat something from my graveyard. I'm gonna tap it if they're gonna give the Sentinel. I kind of want to... Well, let's see. They gave it that guy double strike. Alright, so... I mean, if they want to attack with it, be my guest. It's not gonna be able to block then. Outrider can eat the Sentinel, so they are not going to attack with that. Guess I'll just... I guess I'll take 4 instead of 6. Yeah, that's the idea here. I mean, if I tap the flyer, they will attack for 6, which I won't be blocking, so I can take 4. And that happens. Okay, sadly they get to do that thing again. But anyway, now this thing will flip, of course, because I already have 3 there. Now they need a land to cast this thing. Candlelit Cavalry was absolutely a good draw here. No, there's no more Coven triggers for me. So let's see if I want to attack here with the Gavani Silversmith. It can be a 6/7. Let's see what happens. They know it can at least be a 5/6 because of the Hound Tamer. They'll just sunblock, which is, I mean, the Odrix Outrider really is doing a lot of job here. But I will at least eat one of these things, because they can't cast both of them. The Death Bonnet Hulk is gonna eat the other one. That's something, I guess. But yeah, the Adrix Outrider starts to get annoying here for sure. They have so many jump blockers that at least I will have a Trampler now with the Candlelit Cavalry. And I still have my Tapper too. How much time I have left? 14 minutes, because I have used a lot of time to think here. So if it goes to game 3, I need to be quick. So maybe I should try to play a bit faster. I'm gonna play the Candlelit Cavalry and of course leave the Tapper up. They choose who gets the counter. Sentinel gets it. Okay, they get the 4/4 flyer here, sadly. But, I mean, I have big guys here. I do. Let's see who gets the... Oh, they don't... Actually, they don't have the double strike now, because they have 6 creatures. All of them have either 3 or 4 power. So no common, no double strike. Now I'm still gonna tap someone, which is gonna be the Soul Guide Griff. They don't have good attacks in the ground. Because I have the 5/5 here and they don't have the double striker available. And then I will eat their thing here. From a graveyard. And if a creature, yeah, it will be a creature. So now they are having an empty hand. Well, they do already have an empty hand, but also they lose their graveyard castable. That becomes a 5/5 and I get a land, which is not so bad. I don't actually want to play the land. I don't want them to know that I can use this twice. This is just a Vigilance Flyer. Well, it's pretty decent at that. Alright, so now it's time to attack. Well, this thing attacks and this thing attacks. I have to be wary of the counter attack. I can't attack with too many guys. This thing untaps a wolf or a werewolf. Well, I'm not gonna attack with one. This is the one creature I'm not going to attack with for sure. They have a first striker there, but only one first striker. Now, the bonnet keeps on growing, so that's the reason I don't really like the idea of attacking with it. They might throw multiple guys in front of it. I can only make it into an 8/8. If they put 4 power there, I guess they're not gonna put 4 power there. Am I gonna die to a counter attack? Nah, I'm not gonna die here. They have to do some blocks because this is of course also 14 damage. And I can add 3 more here. Well, they know about only the one, but still, I don't think they're gonna take 2 of these through. Well, they could take 2 and not die. But yeah, if they didn't have the Adrix Outrider, it would be a lot different situation now. Because they have gotten so many counters here. I'm very happy about my Cavani Trapper here, that's really important here. But if it goes to game 3, I'm going to sideboard all my Thraben Exorcisms in. And I'm gonna cut the Death Bonnet Hulk, even though it's good now, they have some number of, graveyard disruption there. So it can be quite slow to make it happen. Okay, they choose to take 2 of these through. So do they have a lethal attack there? I hope they don't have a lethal attack. Anyway, this is 9, I can make it 10, and then I can make it 12, which is, enough for them to survive. It's day, I don't want it to become a night, even though it would make this, well, actually, this will be a little bit bigger. They will get some selection with the this thing. But I'm losing my... Man, this is so tough now. I have to tap a flyer in there. Maybe it doesn't matter if I give a counter to someone or not. I'm not gonna give any counters. And I didn't give the whole of the hunt here either. Just... I mean, it will... they get to do the thing with the... Oh no, this thing died. They don't get to do anything. They don't get to do anything. Let's just do this and give them the turn. So now, yeah, it became a night, but this thing that would have gotten the trigger died. And I have now a better untamed pop in here. Now they have now 3, 4 and 5. So they will be able to give double strike to someone, which I will be able to tap down. And of course, if they attack with multiple creatures, they have to be worried about my counter attack. So assuming, unless they get the +2/+2 because they have the common, but I have still 2 ground blockers if they go for an all-out attack. I will tap. Okay, they choose. Okay, that will be unblockable no matter what. And it will get hexproof, so maybe... Oh yeah, that's actually... So it will be a double strike unblockable. But they will have to use it twice here, green and white here. And but if I tap it now, then they will give double strike to someone else. So it's really... I mean, some of the flyers, so it's actually even worse. So I have to take the 8 from that. But, I mean, if they... I guess if they drew the thing that says +2/+2 to their team, then I will lose. But that was like one card they had to draw immediately now. They had an empty hand. Hedge Witch's Mask. Well, that's not going to be good enough. Because they still... I can still block with a green creature here. No, actually I can't when they do this. Okay, it's gonna deal 10. Am I gonna lose now then? Am I going to lose now when it gets double strike? Can they push 6? Don't think they can. I mean, I tapped this guy. I have blockers for the guy. They can push 14 damage. Wow. But yeah, this is not enough for them to win. Unless I somehow am mistaken here. I can't untap these guys with the... Yeah, so blockers, and I have to of course block here some stuff. Let's do this. Doesn't actually matter, but I mean, I can. I just have to be sure. I don't have first strikers. They don't get any surprise counters, because if this would, yeah, if I had the first striker, they would be able to give a counter to the Sun Gold Sentinel before it deals damage. But yeah, this is the case now. 2 blockers here. I will take 4/10. And which one do I want to kill? I guess I'm gonna do like this. I don't know. I mean, this should be fairly simple. I just don't want to make any stupid mistakes, make any math errors or something like that. But yeah, this was it. Now they drew a card. Well, I mean, even if they didn't draw that, they could have activated it twice and gone for 8 unblockable. Anyway, that was it. That was it. Next match. Okay, I'm on the draw now. But yeah, this is a starting hand. I don't have to hope to draw anything specific. A 2-drop would be nice, and maybe not that many lands, but at least I have this 1-drop, and then I have the great 3-drop and the trick here available. Black and green. Does this thing die right away? Nope. Milling a land is of course good. And I can now thin my deck even more because I don't have a play for turn 2, so don't have that many lands left in. Well, I of course have lands left in the deck, but given that it's only turn 3, I have fairly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have on 9 lands, I think, and 20 spells. That's a really good portion of spells. What do I mill here? Creature, good. And then I can... is there an untapped trick of some kind here? I guess I have the whole of the hunt here, so let's just attack for 1. They might have like a defense trade. But that doesn't mean I'm not playing this, because the Harvestite Sentry isn't really that good against the Novice Occultist. Oh, it was an Infernal Grasp. At least they lost 2 life in that process. And that is a creature in my graveyard, so this is now 1 creature away from, you know, transforming. Unless they have more removal, of course. And milling a non-creature. Wasn't a land either. Right, so not attacking and using the whole of the hunt, not into open mana. I'll just play this thing. Now it is night though, so I hope they don't have any big werewolf, because the night happened because of the Hound Tamer making it starting the day-night cycle. Okay, now that was the creature I needed. I guess I would have liked to also have it in my hand instead of this plains, but anyway, point is, day-night cycle started because of this, and they didn't make plays, so it became a night. Well, this is fairly simple situation now. I don't know why they are not playing any spells, but I'm playing a land, and I guess I have to keep in mind that the format does have discard 2 effect, so I will leave some lands in my hand because they are playing black. So do they want to just draw a card from this thing, or no? Okay, no tricks yet. Okay. Okay, they have some huge 5-drop, I guess. It is night. Werewolves will be big. I will eat the Novice Occultist though with the Death Bonnet Hulk. It becomes a 4/4. Okay, that is a huge 5-drop, but it's not a werewolf. So it's just a 5. Oh, come on. Why did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 11 lands. So 6 left in the deck and 16 spells. Alright. I mean, look at this. I have 5 cards in hand, but if the opponent knew I have 4 lands here, that would be super annoying. At least they're gonna use up my trick here. Now, all they need here is 1 removal spell, and they have, what, 6 cards to my practically 0. I have a good... I mean, the chance to draw spells is very high. It's 16 out of 22 currently. Okay, that thing gives them life, but it doesn't really affect much the board, especially if I draw something that has, other than 6 or 3 power, a creature here. Or actually 7, because I'm going to eat another creature with the Hulk here. So if they don't have removal on this, this will be very problematic for them. Turn to... okay, what? I'm not... I mean, that seems like something... Nah, I have only... They might use mana to... I don't care, actually. I'm just gonna eat up the Cavern Trapper here. Oh. That was a land. Okay, fine. So what they can do, they can recast this thing to make my creatures go back to my deck. But I guess that increases even more the likelihood to, you know, to draw something else than lands here. If I get what, up to 3 in graveyard. So they can choose to shuffle the Hound Tamer and the Cavern Silversmith to my deck. Okay, there's a Stickwingers. That's not so good, especially with Now that was a triple creature. Wow, that was a triple creature mill with this thing, because if they had no creatures there, or they milled only one, I would just kill this by doing this thing. This is really, that was a good one for them. I drew yet another land. I had 5 lands in the deck and 16 spells, and I have drawn these lands in a row. I'm still in a good shape because of the, bonnet here, but this is going to start to get pretty annoying. Not going to lie, but because all they need is removal on this thing, and it's not like black doesn't have removal. Of course it does. So it's only a matter of time. They jump blocked with this thing. Well, let's see if they do anything relevant, because as long as I have my 8/8, my flood doesn't matter at all. Okay, so that's like a... That really smells like the card that kills a creature that was dealt damage during a turn. So I'm taking the damage here. I'll take the 3 here. Because there is this, that's an uncommon werewolf, black werewolf. Oh, no, is it even a werewolf? No, it's a disturbed creature. Duel for dominance. Okay, they die. What then? That was good for me, but they must have a digraph rebirth. Alright. Alright. So I'm gonna, of course, now get rid of the rebirth. Doesn't really matter if I get another counter on here. It's more important to make sure they don't get value out of this rebirth again. So let's get rid of that. That doesn't give a counter because only a creature does. Okay, so untapped creatures you control have hexproof. And this won't even be tapped because of the vigilance here. So let's just give it hexproof right away. And finally I found a spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 2 in here. That's 13 lands. So 4 in the deck. And 4 in the deck and 15 spells. So now they have a little bit more trouble of killing this because it has hexproof. They have to first kill the Sarith. And if they wanna, I guess they can use turn the earth here, but that really, I mean, they have to affect the board somehow. That doesn't affect the board. Okay, so ecstatic awakener maybe goes away. Maybe novice occultist. I don't know. Gavin the silversmith. So this thing doesn't have death touch even if it's tapped. They have 5 power, so even if I give this a counter, it's not really going to be a good attack. So I think I'm gonna use the silversmith on the death bonnet hulk and the silversmith itself and just attack with this thing. Because I wasn't interested in losing this guy. I make it the 4/5, they double block it, I kill the flyer here, and this dies, and then this doesn't have hexproof anymore. So this is the play. Do they take 10 or jump block? I'll take 3 now. I take 2 now. Okay, they got more, but at least those things I can. Okay, so they actually didn't have the thing I suspected they will have. Interesting. I wonder what if I blocked. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter now. Let's just focus. Focus on the situation at hand. Okay, this was good. This was fantastic. So this has vigilance. They can double block the silversmith, but they are gonna want to jump block the death bonnet hulk. Let's assume I attack with all and they are going to double block the Sarith. These both die, and this they will take 11 here. I have the trap. If they draw removal on this, I will still be able to tap this guy. So I think it's worth it now. Because they want to block the Hulk here. Pretty sure. Because they want to try to raise me with the flyer. If they find enough jump blockers for the 11-11, that might work. I don't think that block makes sense currently. But oh well. I will go down to 7. And after that, I start tapping it. And of course I have already a lethal attack. If they, let's say they drew a land, they have to jump block the Death Bonnet Hulk. And I could also just tap it, but okay, well, I took damage, and then they have what? Then they just die. Because that's exactly 14 plus the counter I'm gonna get, so 15. Alright, so black and green. Bounding Wolf, Duel for Dominance, should try to keep in mind. Diagraph Rebirth. Several occultists. Well, it's good with the Ecstatic Awakener, and they might have the Exile removal spell that has the option to sacrifice a creature to make it a 1 mana spell. So Thraben Exorcism doesn't have targets. Vampire Noble. I don't think this one card is enough for me to put a plummet to the deck. I have other means to deal with it. Couple of trappers, a candle trap, and what else? Well, I guess raising them is one. The Sunset Revelry. Are the 1/1s going to be that good? I kind of still want to test the card. Is something here better than my stuff in the deck? No, I'll just test this Revelry still. So I'm gonna use the same deck for now, I think. Do I always have the Death Bonnet Sprout? Also the Hound Tamer again. I mean, this doesn't have the white, but I'm still keeping it. Okay, I got the 2-drop too. The Sunset Revelry doesn't synergize with the 1-drops too much, because even if the opponent has a 2-drop, and even if I had a planes here, I wouldn't actually get my tokens there. Okay, that was decent to lose mill a creature there. Kind of tempted to not play anything to now. I'm just gonna forget about the Revelries. I mean, I can still maybe draw a card for this thing at some point. But anyway, I'll just do this, and I'm gonna give the counter to the guide itself, because this thing will be, actual threat. I don't need to give it a counter. I'd rather have a 2-mana 2/2 here. And then I can have the Hound Tamer. Okay, so much of the Sprout. Attack for 2 then. More removal perhaps. Are they really gonna sacrifice the clue token here? Are they gonna make it a knight? They might have a 5-drop on Werewolf, so they might want to have the knight even though it makes the Hound Tamer slightly better. Okay, I'm not really sure what... Do they have a flash creature that they can... No, 1-mana flash creature. I don't know. Why would I block it? It's too risky here. I can take 1 here for sure. I'm sure they're not just gonna throw it away. They have some kind of trick, and I don't want a Hound Tamer to actually not die. So they did make it knight, and I drew a 4-drop. This is actually fantastic. This would get Death Touch when they are tapped, but I don't think they could have the Bounding Wolf there. but it can trade with the guide, and I'd rather have mana open for this counter here, so let's see what happens when I just attack here now. I have, by the way, a beautiful curve here. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, 5 drop. That's as good as it gets. Is that their turn? Just draw a card from the clue token. Yeah, that's, especially against my curving out, that's really gonna give them troubles, especially because I have the untamed pop. Okay, what? Duress? What card in my deck warranted them to sideboard a Duress in? Or do they play that in main deck? Well, they got the useless card out of my hand. I could care less. Alright, so well, they know about the forest, so might as well play it. I definitely attack with both here, because if they block the, well, this can't do anything. If they block the Timberland guide with the 3/3, I can give it. Oh, no, it will have death touch. So yeah, let's just attack with everyone, because I can, even if they double block this, I can give it a counter. So no matter how they block, it's gonna be good. I guess they might double block the Hound Tamer. They shouldn't single block it. They should double block it, because if they do this, I will just give it a counter. Wow. Okay, let's make sure the mana is tapped in a correct way. So this thing doesn't have death touch or anything. Now there's no rat they can. I mean, there's the black enchantment, the mythic rare, but it is -X with black. So they could give -3, and that doesn't really help them, because 2 of my guys would still survive. So it was very safe to play the Cavern Trapper here. I should be winning now. There shouldn't be like any difficulties anymore. I'll just tap that and tap that, and it's a victory, because I will have lethal attack. Okay, on the play. This time I don't have early drops at all. The Cavern Silversmith as the first play is really bad, because it's just a 4 mana 3/4. Now, of course, there's a chance I would be able to get a 2 or 3 or 1 drop before the Silversmith, and I have the 5 drop with the that goes with the 4 lands. So this is not a completely horrible hand, but it's still pretty bad. So I'm gonna mulligan. This is a lot better. Opponent also mulliganed. I guess when I have the 2 drops, the Sunset Revelry won't be doing a whole lot. And I won't be drawing a card from it either, because, you know, they mulliganed. Well, I still might draw a card, but if it's a 2 mana draw a card, it's really not good. But because I will put board presence here, that means that I won't necessarily get the 1/1 tokens. They kept 6. Bramble Armor. I think I still leave the creature that can fly at some point. No, I'll play this thing first. Yep. I don't think I want to give the counter to anyone else than itself anyway. So if there is a trade, then okay, that thing can't block, so there's not going to be a trade. I'll just play my whatever. I could use the Candle Trap here, but that's definitely not something I should do right away. I might, although I play against vampires, they can get an annoying triggers. Okay, well maybe I will use on that. Okay, let's. I guess. Well, I mean, now they still get the triggers, but I guess I don't want them to have a 4 power of flyers here. That is also something worth considering. Now if I draw a creature that has power other than 4 or 2, this will fly also. Yeah, I'm not a fan of, you know, trading with, racing with these guys. Plus this is good because this can't block, so this candle trap, I don't even need to exile it at any point. Now that land, it was a sad draw. If they have a removal spell, I guess at least I can post-combat equip if they want to kill the Timberland Guide because it deals more damage. No, they have. Oh, they had the Midnight Ambush, so they only could kill that thing. Well, if I had a creature follow up here, I think that would be victory for me, but since I don't, they only have to remove this thing and I'm behind unless I draw my 5 mana cards. So more removal is there. Yeah. Not great. Not great at all. I had a creature here, but all they need to do is remove all my guys and have the Vampire Interloper doing its thing. And a land, of course. This is really bad. I'm not dying on the next turn, so I can offer the trade here. It has Vigilance, so I guess they just will trade here, but I mean the Interloper is doing its thing, it really is. Yeah, well, they only used 2 removal spells, and I used 1, so it's just me drawing these lands. Oh, Tainted Adversary, they get 2 of those. Okay, well, this land means I lose the game. They have. Well, okay, I will drop to 1, but then I will lose on the following turn. So, well, I had 8 lands. Bramble Armor not that great against removal heavy deck. I will cut that. And how about the Plummet? I saw 2 of these Interlopers. Is that the only? Maybe against the spot removal decks I should play the Search Party Captain. That seems like it makes sense. Drawing cards. How about the other stuff I have? No, I mean, it's just, if I just draw my creatures, I had, what, 17 in the main deck, so I just didn't really draw a lot of them. Okay, then the Veteran is actually going to be good, because the 1/1 pod also can block and trade with the Interlopers. So maybe I will, but I do like the Sunset Rivalry too here. Especially on the play when there's a chance I have less cards in hand than they. And it gaining 4 life could have been very good in that game too. Alright, so what do I not play? Maybe one of the Hall of the Hunts. Maybe... don't know. Candle Trap was very good. Might of the Old Ways can counter it, the Olivia's Midnight Ambush. But maybe it's not that good otherwise. Because if they have a bunch of removal, I might not ever have the Coven that reliable. I like the Hall of the Hunts because they are the permanent buffs here. So this is the sideboarding I'm gonna do here. And now I have to win 2 games back to back if I want to have the maximum reward. But I did find a mythic rare in this draft, so the 2-win result is still acceptable. And back to having 2 landers, but I guess with the 1-drop Hound Chamber. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it because I definitely don't want to flood against the deck. I mean, this is better, a slight screw is better than flood against the decks that has a lot of spot removal. Oh, they have a sweet deck. They have also that thing, and they have the Black Adversary. And I don't draw land. And of course the first draw in here was a 5-drop. Well, I have 3 of these in the deck, but still, this is really annoying. I do need to hit. I just said flooding is horrible, but I still need to draw enough lands to cast my spells. All right, let's play the rare. Well, I guess now it's just a 2/3 Death Toucher. Okay, I have to do actually this now. They get to attack for 2 now. I can at least block the 1/1. But yeah, this is how it goes sometimes. Couple of non-games to finish the event with. Yep. And let's have one more. And that's it. Not really beating this. They have too much going on and I never drew the third land. But like I said, a mythic rare 4 packs for basically 500 gems is good for completing the set. Now of course my premier drafts have been incredibly bad, so I would want to kind of offset with them with good success in traditional drafts. But my traditional drafts in this set have gone quite well, and 2 wins is never really that bad of a result. So I just of course like the deck quite a bit, and I would have wanted to play so that I don't get flooded into Mana Screw in the last match. Yeah, I don't think there's much. I never got to really cast this, so I really can't say if this is any good. I think in the last match, it definitely was a card that, if I wouldn't had this in my main deck, I would have definitely sideboarded it in. It seems like the life and the tokens were relevant there, especially, and then sometimes you get to draw a card from it too. And well, I guess that these things having Trample do make them quite decent. Maybe even better than the Werewolf 5-drop, who knows. But yeah, Death Bonnet Sprout, this at least showed its value because it was, I drew it in so many games, and it just keeps growing, and also can, hate the opponent's graveyard stuff. Fantastic stuff. It's a very good card. Okay, well that's it. Next event will be a Premier Draft, I think. Hopefully I win some games there. So I will see you then. Thank you for watching and bye bye.